And here we are in another match. This is another Stormgate cast, and this is going to be between Snoxtar and Mixu once again. I mentioned this in this last cast that these two met up on ladder and they hit each other a couple times, and they are just commenting on this. This was, I believe, the third game, and you have Jesus on your dragon. So commenting on that last cast, if you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out on my YouTube. It should be there. But yeah, in that last game, the dragon managed to survive long, even under harass, and that was sort of a Jesus dragon, as Mixu pointed out. But let me introduce our players, as you've probably already seen in your blue infernal here. Snoxtar, winner of that last match, and his opponent, complaining about getting stalked on the ladder, is Mixu, the red celestial. This one we're going to be playing out on Titan's Causeway. We've got a couple arrays here opening into a creation chamber, so this is a little bit more conservative of an opening for our celestial player, maybe because of the smaller map. And Snoxtar's Hexen has come in to scout that, but she's scooting away, and that might also be because she scouts the earlier creation chamber, knowing there's likely going to be some defenses out here, and she wants to get out of there. Although she has scooted over here to the speed camp, and I think we know what that means. Yeah, there's already a ritual chamber about to pop, and then we're going to see immediately Hexen Adept training. And that meant that, so I'm looking here at how this build goes. We've seen it a couple times now. It sort of was first maybe brought to our knowledge by MSRM a few weeks ago. I believe that may have been in the Hup Cup or the Oriole tournament, where he had done this early Hexen play and sort of showed to us that you can creep this entire camp here with 3 mines. And as that research finishes, we'll see mines going down here as well as here, so good micro to get that both going. But Argent's already on the way, and they want to stop this from happening. And oh, the mines trigger, but they weren't done yet. And many of those Shadow Mastiffs are picked off. Maybe every single one was picked off there by Mixu, so it was a good play, but at what cost? Because of course now all these fiends have popped out, and now they're taken out. That's 2 Argents that have been taken out. So probably not worth it, unfortunately, even though it looked like it was kind of a clever play. And of course, more fiends being produced back home at the health camp, and all these fiends and Hexen are moving out. There are mines here in case this army of Mixu comes to try and take this camp back. They're going to take some damage on the way there. And now fiends here on this base. I didn't notice this base was up yet, but that's what these fiends are here to scout. And a Sovereign's Watch to chase them away. And indeed it does. Ooh, but these Argents, look at this little cranny here. I've never even seen this, but I guess Mixu knows it exists. And you can go and tuck your Argents away there, and they're safer from the fiends. But it's actually some pretty good control from Snoxtar to split those fiends up, send some of them after the other Argents, and have a few take out those 2 that were cornered there. Again, I do think this is pretty good interaction, or in Snoxtar's favor so far. It's been able to snag more and more of these Argents, and that just means that the more dangerous Argent Ball can't get up to a larger number. And while it's in a small number, these fiends remain to be quite dangerous for it. What do we have here? Those are Gaunts retreating. There's a mine here, I imagine, yes. These mines still haven't been triggered. The Hexens and Gaunts heading back. It looks like they both took sort of longer routes around. So these Gaunts are going to start ahead of time. And I imagine they got their Plague Axes already. So they don't need the Hexen there to help them with the infest. Fiends popping out. And yeah, 5 more Fiends added. And more Gaunts. So same kind of build from last time. Snoxtar sticking to the 2 Hexen. And And the Gaunts here as the rest of the force. And same thing from Mixu is sabers, fast early sabers. And sabers are the main thing so far, at least. There's some margins here, but they're mostly have been defensive, I think, to also get a little creeping done. Now that the sabers are here, they seem to be the tech of choice. And what's this? An ascension matrix on the high ground. Now remember, those were boosting damage by 20%. It's a pretty large boost. Boom. Some Gaunts going down. I don't know what the range on that is, and it isn't surged at the moment, so... Oh, we've got a scanner here. Took this, but didn't trigger the mines, so clever. And it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a forward base on the high ground here. This is actually a pretty good spot for you to take if you are a Celestial player. Sabers have a real nice range, and from the high ground here, not only can you control this camp, which of course is valuable, but if your opponent takes this base, you can just park up here and kind of rain down on their parade, take out their shrine. Oh, interesting here. I'm like, didn't he just creep this camp? Indeed he did. So he used Evolution Catalyst to reset it up again. And now we see the surge on the Ascension Matrix giving extra damage. And that allows him to take it again and regain the minerals, sorry, the Luminite and the Therium. Does that also trigger it onto the next higher level up? So that would mean more Luminite from controlling it as well. In the meantime, Snoxtar has come and taken this Therium camp and has 2 Weavers. So this is a change from last day, or from the last cast, sorry. Fiend's out scouting, just in time actually to find that Morph Core there. And there's also a base almost done here. Interesting choice not to go here, but as I mentioned, this is a vulnerable base if the Celestial camps out on the high ground, and indeed there's already a little bit of a forward base there. However, at this moment, Mixu has pulled back to his health camp. So his army is not in sort of an attack position, and Snoxtar also remaining kind of, not as aggressive this game. More mines going out as just defensive sort of caution here for this base. And this base is starting to mine, and the Fiends here want to take this back, but there is a scanner. So you're going to need to get in that. And here comes a Morph Core saying, I want this base. I want this ninja base. I hope no one's here. Oh no. Oh, yeah. Okay, so did still put down the array. So that's not cool. And mines going down over here. While Morph Core also going over here. So, Mixu trying to get in this by taking as many bases as I can, but a lot of these bases have already been claimed. And now this is up, and we're getting an Aeon Gate here, while here comes the Saber Force to take out this gate, this shrine, sorry. There's an interesting scan there. I wonder what that was for, to look for mines possibly. Or just to get vision to see if a force was coming. But yeah, that shrine got taken out. Bye-bye. Oh, is that an Aeon Gate? No, that's an Ascension Matrix, and it's going to get cancelled, it looks like. But they went into the Aeon Gate. All those units. Oh, there's another one. So they popped out over here. There's another one being summoned up here. So I have often opined that this game needs more Stormgates, or a game called Stormgate. There's a considerable lack of Stormgates, but there is an Aeon Gate, and I do like that there are Aeon Gates being used. But right now, this Aeon Gate's not coming into play because there is a force pushing in to the center of the map, and a lot of Sabers and early Ardents went down here, partly to the Yank. And there's also this Arc Fortress. Ooh, I did not see, but the Arc Fortress has come up and used its nasty ability to cancel bases, delete them. And it is, ooh, is it going to pay the price? Looks like the sabers are being pushed back. Some of them are getting yanked in and are killed. And there goes the Arc Fortress. And now this smaller force from Mixu has been forced back up onto the high ground. But Snoxtar pulls back, goes for some creeps. And that allows Mixu to push up a little bit. There are some mines here. There's also the scanner above, so those mines are in vision range and can be taken out before they do damage. And now Snoxtar's pulled back to try and punish this army, catching one saber with the lash. And ooh, there's a few gaunts getting melted there at the end there. This army, yeah, I think Mixu's going to try and punch through these woods instead of cycling back around, since that could be dangerous to go through this forward route, although Snoxtar has retreated back. And let's see, so this base has remained up, while Snoxtar has taken this top side, although this base was nuked by the Arc Fortress. And we do have another base going down over here. Well, there's still a mine here, and let's see. So one of these mines is taken, the other one not. So kind of an interesting split map situation. Snoxtar in the lead with the supply again. And I don't know if that's largely I don't see a lot of fiends out, so sometimes that can be misleading. But I think we do see a good number of weavers that might be explaining the supply lead for now. And oh, here's some more, a couple more weavers plus some spriggies. And ooh, here's another engagement. A lash goes down on one of the sabers, so managing to get a pick off there. Another forward arc ship. And Vector's got up there, managing not to get smashed by the mine, and instead now getting on top, actually focusing Fellhogs instead of imps. They have to retreat. Brigands above, even though the Vectors are pretty good against Brigands. And yeah, we saw a triggering of the Shadow Demons. And one Spriggan unfortunately stuck there and gets taken out. So Snoxtar is trying to retreat and protect this Therium base. But we do have a force from Mixu kind of being aggressive in the middle. Now it doesn't take much for Mixu to push out from his forward position in the middle. It's not too hard to retreat back to that if needed, and that means he can harass, try and pick off some of this static D, and indeed takes out a couple mines and a Shroud Stone and an effigy, and that means he can push this harass force a little bit forward and maybe get another base. And look, we see another Arc Fortress on the way, and some of the defensive force they're just melting to saber blasts. And what was that anime? I thought it was being attacked, but no, that was the teleport animation for the Weavers. And they get back, they take out this Aeon Gate, and again, it looks like this Arc Fortress is going to be focused. It laser beamed out the base already, and now it's going to try and escape. There's a dragon in the front, but the sides are going to jump on it right away. Huge Purify goes down, and bye-bye to the dragon. But I think the Arc Fortress, that's going to be the second Arc Fortress that goes down. And now it's, yeah, the Weavers getting some sabers and the sides retreat. Just too many gaunts here. And another Arc ship. This one was, I think it was meant to tank and draw fire from the Arc Fortress originally, but then it got left behind. And it's now a goner. So another little push out from Mixu that kind of gets punished from Snoxtar, and as the result, the supply lead gets a little bit bigger for Snoxtar. And now it's Brigands and Gaunts on the high ground here harassing this base. This is another base that's easily harassed from the high ground. And that may have been why Mixu delayed so long to take it. And is now lifted up the array. But this force is pushing in, and it has destruction in mind. It wants to take out the mining bases here, and the Weavers are just pushing forward saying, you want to shoot your shots, shoot it on me. I'm the tank here. A couple sabers going down. Those sabers are really important. You want those to help melt some of the gaunts. They're not exactly designed, you know, they don't have bonus damage versus the gaunts, but if the way the gaunts line up, they are just asking to be melted by a couple of well-targeted saber shots. And that base did get taken out, but Snoxtar pulls back And Mixu yet again remaining in the middle of the map, trying to keep this position that's just a little bit more favorable for both defense and offense, but has lost a couple mines, and that means it's hard to justify staying in this forward position. So many ascension matrices. I don't know if maybe a couple extra sabers might have just been the right choice, but I do like the idea of playing with these boosts that you get from the larger the army you have, the better that boost is. So the fact that building those ascension matrices does cost unit production, I think that's something that Mixu is going to have to take in mind when continuing with this build. I do really like that Mixu experiments with stuff. Mixu is one of the players that I see experimenting more and more with different kinds of builds. So that's cool. Huge nightfall there, but Purify going down right after that. Nullify it. That interaction is unfortunate, I would say. I don't think I like that for the game. Skills shouldn't just immediately be nullified. You want to feel some payback. So there's a lot of payback from the Celestial player thinking, hey, I got rid of that attack, but it makes the Infernal player feel, what was the point? I've heard a few Infernal players, oh, well, I'll take the Animus for power trade, and sure, that makes strategic choice or strategic sense, but I think that's not a very interesting interaction. So maybe we'll see how that changes in the future. Because I don't see how you can change that without making sort of serious changes to the purify abilities. Now we're seeing, okay, this force is on the high ground, and the force for Mixu on the low ground is kind of taking advantage of a lot of the army not being able to attack at the moment. Sabers are getting a lot of free pot shots on these units, but now the army has made it to the ground, and a lot of sides just went down. There's 2 arcships above. I love how many arcships Mixu is committed to as well. And we see that his army just can't go toe-to-toe here, and these arcships are going to start going down. The forward force of mostly Weavers has also been taken out. But once again, those bases wiped out. And now it is Hellborns here from the low ground, plus the vision from the Weavers, that we're going to start seeing power banks going down. We are in yellow power right now, but now we hit red power, and this is starting to look like a winning wave from Snoxtar. His army can push over this base and just delete. And as we see, yes, the Shroud fall, we get a GG from Mixu. What a good game.